In today's lesson, we are going to be learning about a famous poet and writer named Christina Rossetti. Now, Christina was born in England, and she was also born quite a long time ago. So notice how in her writing, you may notice some words that you haven't seen before. We are going to read a story and look at some of her poems and also talk about the vocabulary that we see. After, I have posted 2 videos with animations that show her poems that are really cool. So let's get started with this video, and after you finish it, then watch Christina's animated poems. For today's lesson, I am going to be reading a story called Christina's Work. As we're reading through this story, you'll notice some bright yellow highlighted words. These are new vocabulary words that I will be introducing. Now, some of you may have seen some of these words before, but we are going to talk about their words and their meanings. Christina Rossetti was an author. She lived in England over 100 years ago. Christina's father was a poet, and she grew up surrounded by writers and artists. She began writing as a girl. Can you tell me one detail that we just read about Christina Rossetti? You could tell me that Christina was an author, or that she lived in England, or that she grew up surrounded by writers and artists. As a young woman, Christina published poems in a magazine. However, she would not give the magazine permission to print her name on the poems. She used a made-up signature instead. As an adult, Christina became famous for her poetry. She often worked for a long time to choose exactly the right words for a poem. She also became famous for her strong beliefs. Can you tell me why Christina Rossetti is famous? Our story told us that Christina is famous for her work in poetry and also her strong beliefs. Christina tried to write different kinds of books. She tried to write a book about the life of one of her favorite authors. The book was incomplete, though. Christina felt she did not have enough information to finish it. Throughout her life, Christina always welcomed the chance to write poetry. She wrote poems about her beliefs and poems for her children. Christina had many illnesses, but she kept writing. She became one of the most famous poets in England. People still enjoy her poetry today. Do you? Here are 2 examples of Christina Rossetti's poems. The first poem is called "What is Pink?" What is pink? A rose is pink by the fountain's brink. What is red? A poppy's red in its barley bed. What is blue? The sky is blue where the clouds float through. What is white? A swan is white, sailing in the light. What is yellow? Pears are yellow, rich and ripe and mellow. What is green? The grass is green, with small flowers between. What is violet? Clouds are violet in the summer twilight. What is orange? Why, an orange, just an orange. In Christina's first poem, What is Pink? Did you notice a pattern throughout the poem? I noticed rhyming. The words pink and brink rhyme. Red and bed. Blue and through. White and light. Christina used rhyming as a pattern in her first poem. Now let's read the second poem, How Many Seconds? How many seconds in a minute? 60, and no more in it. How many minutes in an hour? 60 for sun and shower. How many hours in a day? 24 for work and play. How many days in a week? 7, both to hear and speak. How many weeks in a month? 4, as the swift moon runneth. How many months in a year? 12 the almanac makes clear. Did you notice the pattern that was used in this poem? Christina also used rhyming in this poem. The words minute and in it, hour and shower, day and play, they rhyme. Now let's go over the definitions of the vocabulary words we saw in our story. In our story, we saw 6 different highlighted words. These are all of the vocabulary words we are going to be discussing. The first vocabulary word we saw was the word author. The word author is a person who has written something, such as a book or a poem. The word author was used in our story when it says, Christina Rossetti was an author. The next word we saw was the word permission. The word permission means telling someone it is okay to do something. In our story, the word permission was used when it says, however, she would not give the magazine permission to print her name on the poems. The next word we saw was the word signature. The word signature means the name of a person written in his or her own handwriting. The word signature was used in our story when it says she used a made-up signature instead. The next word we saw was the word exactly. The word exactly means in a perfect way without any mistake. In our story, the word exactly was used when it says she often worked for a long time to choose exactly the right words for a poem. The next word we saw was the word incomplete. The word incomplete means not finished. In our story, the word incomplete was used in the sentence, "The book was incomplete though." The last word we saw in our story was the word welcomed. The word welcomed means liked or appreciated the chance to do something. In our story, the word welcomed was used when it says, throughout her life, Christina always welcomed the chance to write poetry. Now, I want to give you a challenge. Are you ready for it? I want you to try to make a rhyme chain. I want you to find 10 words that all rhyme together. Are you up for the challenge? I included in our lesson a Jack Hartman video where he does a lot of rhyming words if you need some help getting started. I'm going to show an example here. I'm going to use my favorite example word. I'm going to use the word dog. Dog. And you can do this on notebook paper or a whiteboard, whatever you would like to do. So I'm going to make a rhyming chain. So what's a word that rhymes with dog? Log. That rhymes. So I'm just going to write it right underneath it, like it's a big chain connecting. Let's see. Dog, log, fog, bog, nog. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm already halfway there. So I have dog, log, fog, bog, nog, frog. I can write that there. Frog. Let's see what else I can find. The word clog, sog, jog, and let's see, that brings me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I need one more word. Oh, can you think of another word that I could use? I thought of one. Hog. And there is my rhyme chain. I found 10 words that all rhyme because they all end in og. So see what words you can rhyme. You can pick any word and try to come up with 10 words that rhyme all together. I'm so excited to see what you rhyme. And remember, you can use the Jack Hartman video that I posted to help you get started with a rhyming word. Or if you have a book or a dictionary, you can also do that. But try to come up with 10 words that all rhyme together. And that brings us to the end of our activity today. If you're finished watching this video and you have not already watched the Christina Rossetti poems, make sure you watch those too. And I will see you later.